What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 117. Before the stream started, I don't know why this is stuck in Chris's head, but he just he just keeps saying, "Is it possible to learn this power?" He just keeps saying that to me. I know it's Revenge of the 6th. Happy Revenge of the 6th, everybody. By the way, it's weird. Chris and I both kind of had the same thought. Like,
I
thought it
grew
was
up Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was Revenge of the 5th. Now all of a sudden, I guess, according to Disney, it's now Revenge of the 6th. Maybe there's Revenge of the 5th and
There
Revenge of
was
the 6th, but
so much push for it because there's like a whole line of it you can do. You can literally push it all the way to the 9th or something like that. Like all these different titles, but I was always Revenge of the 5th.
I think we're cutting it off here. It's Revenge of the 6th, and then we're moving on until next year. But yeah, it's funny because like Disney, they saved all of their Revenge of the Sith merch for the most part for today to do a big drop for Revenge of the 6th. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But guys, how's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday evening? As you can see, starting the stream off, it's just Chris and I. There may be one other person joining us later. I'm not too sure. Otherwise, it'll just be Chris and I hanging out with you all on this fine Tuesday evening. This is basically our May the 4th stream. I felt like it would be right to do a May the 4th recap stream on Revenge of the 6th. I think it makes sense because we didn't go live on May the 4th. I actually did go live with Kaiju Daddy if you want to watch the replay of that stream over on Kaiju Daddy's channel. But great to be here with you guys. A lot of really awesome stuff. Not just 6 scale stuff, but there's a lot of, if you collect other merch, Star Wars related merch, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Also, of course, we will be taking a look at that beautiful InArt Severus Snape today, so don't you worry. We will be taking a look at that a little bit later. Definitely really excited to look at that as well because it's beautiful. They did an awesome job on it, but there's something interesting about it that they changed, which we're definitely going to talk about. But we're going to start by saying what's up to everybody. Just a quick update, guys. I know a lot of you last week were so generous with the donations and stuff about my pet. As of right now, he's still with us. We're still trying to figure everything out with him. I took him to get an ultrasound on yesterday on Monday, and I'm just waiting to hear back the results from the specialist. So that's where we are with it. I just wanted to update you guys because I know a lot of you guys were showing some awesome support. Costing me more money, but like I said, it's worth it at the end of the day just to give him the best chance possible. So I do appreciate all you guys, and a lot of people even after the stream reached out to me, so I do appreciate it. Also, I want to give a big happy birthday. I know he's probably not here right now, but Flavio was kind enough to drop in on his birthday. Flavio says, first like, dropping in early, going to be popping in and out due to birthday shenanigans, but have a great stream. Excited to hear all of the Star Wars talk, fellow collectors in chat. May the Force be with you. Well, happy birthday, Flavio.
Happy
Everybody
birthday,
in the
big
chat.
dog.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, if you could, as you pop in, or if you're in here, please say happy birthday to Flavio. Also, believe it or not, guys, my birthday is actually on Monday. So I'm not looking forward to it, guys, because I officially leave my 20s on Monday. I'm getting old. I know a lot of people watching are probably like, dude, shut up. But yeah, dude, my birthday is on Monday the 12th. So Flavio and I are pretty close with the birthdays. That's pretty awesome. But guys, I might be doing a random little giveaway today, just something small for May the 4th. Stay tuned. And also, I talked to a certain space wizard, and we might have another giveaway coming up on the channel, but I won't say anything about it yet, but it's something really awesome that a lot of you guys are going to want to win. But we'll talk about that at a later date, hopefully in the near future. Also, quick update, guys. I know a lot of you probably buy from Off the Racks and Mondo and all these other companies. Off the Racks, I was talking with John last night. And as much as it pained him to do it, he has to now start charging a tariff fee like everybody else. So if you're buying from Off the Racks, expect your invoices for the time being to have that tariff fee. And when I tell you John was like so like broken up about it, like he just really didn't know what to do. And he was like, what would you want to see as a consumer? And I'm like, you know, dude, you got to do what you got to do. If Sideshow is only covering so much, like he's not even asking the full amount which Sideshow is charging him. Like he's kind of taking a bit of a hit there, but it sucks, guys. It really does. But so just keep that in mind if you're buying from Off the Racks. As you start to get invoices in, you will see a tariff impact fee on there. And Mondo just announced today, none of their current invoices will be affected, but moving forward, all of their stuff will have those fees as well. We're not going to get into the whole conversation about that. I just wanted to update you guys because I know a lot of you buy from Off the Racks here. We got my boy Valkyrie Magnus in the house. Valk is a channel member and a good friend. Valk says, good afternoon, Connor and friends. For some reason, it's so weird. It's got one of him just without a channel member icon or the moderator icon, and then you jump over to him, and then he's got both on a second message. That's so bizarre. But Val, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I hope you're doing well on this fine Tuesday evening on Revenge of the 6th. We got my boy Sean in the house, an OG panel member and a great friend and a moderator. Sean says, hello there, driving home from work, listening to all of you. Well, I hope we can entertain you on your drive home. I love listening to streams in the car. I tell you guys that all the time. Excuse me. It's just, it's relaxing, you know, and I feel like you're more into the conversation when you're not looking at the screen, you're just listening. I feel like you're more attentive that way, as crazy as it sounds. But thank you so much for being here, Sean. We got my boy Brick Artemis in the house. Yes, happy birthday to Flavio. I don't know how old Flavio is, but I imagine he's like relatively close in age to me. But yes, big happy birthday to Flavio, the GOAT. We got Pedro Lopez in the house. You know what that means. It's going to be followed up by hashtag hotline confirmed. What's up, Pedro? Thank you so much for being here, my friend. As always, I hope you're doing well. We got Boba Fettuccine in the house, a channel member and a good friend. Boba Fettuccine says, hey, how we doing, folks? Well, we're doing great. Star Wars time, the best time of the year to be a Star Wars fan, unless you're going to Star Wars Celebration in 2027. That'll be the next best time, you know. But thank you so much for being here, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, I forgot to unmute myself. I was saying I'm like weirdly congested, so I keep trying to mute myself every time I have to, like, I don't even feel sick. It's weird. But OG fan, the GOAT Star Wars fan in the house, a channel member and a great friend, and a moderator. OG fan says, like, share, and subscribe. Well, guys, you better listen to him, because if not, I heard some bounty hunters are going to be coming your way. OG, thank you so much for being here, as always, my friend. Speaking of Kaiju Daddy, and then I know Chris is the belt's weighing down his shoulder, so I think there's a particular person in the chat. Kaiju Daddy in the house. Like I said, guys, if you haven't already, check out the May the 4th stream over on Kaiju Daddy's channel, which I was on. It was a great time hanging out with those guys. A really fun stream. And Kaiju Daddy is that dude. And he is also, when it comes to 1/12th, I feel like a great source because he gets stuff so quickly. He's got a lot of early looks on the 1/12 scale stuff. So definitely check him out. And also, he's always trolling me. So I'm sure that makes you guys happy that I get trolled sometimes. We got Sal in the house. What's up, my dude? I hope you're doing well, Sal. Well, let me jump. I'm going to jump up back to everybody else's comments, guys. But real quick, Chris, I'm gonna bring up your screen because I know we got to give him the grand introduction. Because last week you weren't prepared for it because you were in the middle of a drive home.
Indeed, we were. So I didn't get to tell everybody. There's a new GOAT in town. Ric Flair 16-time. John Cena 17-time. Let me get a woo for that. But we got much bigger things to celebrate. We're talking Star Wars here. Revenge of the 6th. Wait, this is the wrong saber. That's technical. That's better. Now let's get this stream on the road. Welcome in, everybody in the chat. It's going to be a bumpy ride, so buckle up. Woo! All right, it may be dead, but yeah.
Yeah, you're... Yeah, it's a little dead, but Big Dog Pound, what's up, my friend? A moderator and a great friend. I hope you're doing well. And then, yeah, Gio, I looked down and I saw it. By the way, thank you so much for being here. Gio, another channel member and another great friend. Guys, if you haven't already, check out Gio over at the Movie Canon. He has awesome streams over there on his channel. And thank you so much for being here, as always, Gio. Yeah, everybody's saying muted volume. I know, guys. Sorry, I noticed it probably 30 seconds after because I was muting myself. Dewback giveaway, dude. I wish I had money like that. Not a Dewback giveaway. Diecat, see, Kaiju is such a troll, dude. He trolled me. I unknowingly gave for a giveaway on his channel. You got to watch the stream and you'll see what he did to me. He's always trolling me. Let's see. Gio in the house. Like I said, Gio says hello, collectors. Connor, Chris, what's up, Gio? Thank you so much for being here, my friend. We got Tijuana Mike in the house. What's up, Tijuana Mike? Mike says, happy Tuesday, collectors. Thank you so much for being here. Another channel member and a great supporter and an overall cool dude. Thank you so much for being here, Mike. Let's see. Pedro says, well, that's why Mondo delayed all those pre-orders. Well, the existing pre-orders are not affected, supposedly. That's what they said in their email, so. We got Ty in the house. Ty, always great to see you able to make a stream because I know it's hard for you with the time zone difference. But Ty, thank you so much for being here, my friend. A moderator and a longtime friend, one of the GOATs, one of my oldest supporters. Ty, thank you so much for being here, my friend. We got Batman Collectibles in the house. What's up, Batman Collectibles? My 89 Batmobile from Jazz Inc. should be here, I think, by Thursday. Tomorrow or Thursday. I got, like, kind of stuck in that very end batch, and then it got delayed by, like, a month or 2 months, so I'm just now getting mine. But very excited to finally get it because I've had a spot cleared for it for ages since I sold my Hot Toys one. But thank you so much for being here, my friend. Tom in the house, my dude. What's up, Tom? Tom says, hey, guys, hope all is well. I'm so pumped we got Poe. Yeah, it's about time. I mean, that's one of those figures you kind of lost hope for a little bit, right? But, hey, it ended up happening. I'm happy for those who wanted it. I definitely wanted it myself. It is Flavio's birthday, and then it'll be my birthday on Monday. So my birthday is right around the corner. Ryan said, Dewback just shipped finally. What's up, guys? Yes, I did just get my invoice for the Dewback as well, so I'm very excited for that. Yeah, it's going to be a big box to get in the mail, though, because I've seen the box and some other people's photos, and it's gigantic, so be prepared for that. My boy Tim in the house. What's up, Tim? How you doing, my friend? Tim says, what up, Connor? Happy Tuesday night. Happy Tuesday night to you. As always, guys, if you haven't already, what are you doing? Check out that Caustic Plastic Facebook group run by Tim and the other great guys over from Caustic. Great group over there. Definitely highly recommend it. Let's see. One Adam 12 is in the house. Adam, I think I saw your comment earlier. Maybe I scrolled past it. Maybe I missed you. Adam, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I have not seen the Thunderbolts yet because I've had, with the pet stuff, I've had so much going on. So I do want to see it. I've heard some pretty decent reviews on it, like as decent as they can be. So I'm excited to check it out because I do like the Red Guardian a lot. But thank you so much for being here, Adam. A great supporter and another channel member. I appreciate you, as always. Thank you so much, Big Dog Pan. I appreciate it. Guys, as always, if I miss your comments, of course, I'll say what's up to you as you guys come through. Ash Chase in the house. Great to see you as well, Ash. Guys, as more people drop in, I might do a little giveaway very shortly. But thank you so much for being here, Ash. Great to see you, as always. And, of course, Tim, as always, like I said, dude, like, I have a great time over there. Even just, like, reading people's, their love for a lot of the figures that maybe don't get enough love. Nowadays they are, which is great to see, but I think that's kind of why you created the group, right? To kind of show some love to such a great company. So, of course, as always, I'm happy to give you a shout out. But, guys, we are going to get started. Oh, what am I doing? Ew. We'll do this. So, I remember, Chris, saying... So we're getting started with the May the 4th stuff, and I do have kind of a side topic when it comes to the May the 4th stuff as well. But I remember when we were kind of talking about last stream, like, potential May the 4th stuff, and I remember saying, like, I'm expecting stuff that we've already seen, like stuff that was just shown off at Star Wars Celebration Japan that hasn't been announced yet, and that's exactly what we got. So we're going to have, again, a side topic about that and our feelings on that, but just starting it off, I think we got some pretty awesome stuff, a little bit of everything for everybody. And I also want to say, guys, if you had hopes to see like a new Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan or another Anakin or anything in that realm, I don't think it's like, oh, well, that's it. We have the whole rest of the year. I'm sure Hot Toys has a lot of stuff planned, So
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
They talked about like the 20th anniversary logos and stuff, and like we haven't seen a single release that's branded as such, like with the packaging like we did at Attack of the Clones and the 40th Empire. So it's got to come. I mean, for being one of the biggest films in that franchise, like a favorite for a lot like me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they'd miss the ball on that.
No, I think they probably have a lot of stuff planned. I think it's just probably, they got out what they could get out. They had what they had available at Celebration to show off, and trust me when I say, guys, I don't think they're done at all. So I would be patient with it. Don't be like worried that you're not going to see anything else from Revenge of the Sith. They do this all the time, guys. They kind of blow their load on stuff, and then they slowly trickle in more things. And we've seen a lot of stuff that would have been unheard of. Huh?
Hot Toys, like they're ahead of us or before us? I forget.
They're ahead of us. Yeah.
Okay, so the 6 already passed for them then.
Yeah, the 6 already passed, yeah.
If they were doing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that is true, but yeah, Clone Trooper, I think we're going to see some more Revenge of the Sith
The
stuff
actual anniversary, though, has not hit because that was, May 19th, 2005? So technically, they still got some time.
Yeah, and look what they did with like Bespin Luke. He showed up a year basically almost after the 40th anniversary. And
Yeah.
not to forget also, guys, we're getting merchandise and everything for the 45th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. So more ESB stuff is not off the table either. So just keep that in mind. What's up, Robert? We got Feel to Burn in the house, another channel member and a great friend. He says, well, howdy, y'all. What's up? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here, as always. And yes, going back on topic, since we kind of started talking about the event as a whole, guys, we're taking a look at the Hono Studio Rebels Ralph McQuarrie design-inspired Vader here. And this one, I kind of agree with Kaiju. For someone who's a Rebels fan and also a fan of Ralph McQuarrie's work, I think this is amazing. And it kind of puzzles you because the price point of $220 when he's got a USB powered saber, a full cloth undersuit where you don't have to worry about pleather flaking, it's puzzling, right? I mean, it's a great price point. I think he looks awesome. Is it like 100% accurate? Of course, there's things you could pick out here and there, but for $220, I think this is an awesome offering. Of course, you guys know me. Anything Vader or Anakin, I'm all over it. And I think this looks great. I really do. I love how he looks. I love the proportions. I love what looks to be a decently skinnier lightsaber blade, just like we see in Rebels. That design of the lightsaber is much different in Rebels. It's a very skinny, thin blade. So I think this is awesome, guys. I think this is really cool, and I think they came in at a great price point. Obviously, the biggest thing with Hono is, like, the creeping price point. We started at like $160 with that Wolverine, and we've seen it kind of go all over the place. You know, honestly, once you hit 220, it's starting to cap there for that budget-friendly entry-grade line. But I think for 220, I think that's very fair for what you're getting here. The main thing you're kind of missing out on with this versus like the regular Hot Toys Vaders is the chest box and the belt boxes are not actually LED, which for me, I think they're painted in a way where they look like they're lit up, and that's enough for me. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, because I don't personally like USB power everything in my display. I don't do that. So perfectly fine with me. He looks probably to be the most posable Vader yet. It seems very effortless in the look here, doing that signature Vader pose where he's holding the belt. So I'm pretty confident this is going to be a pretty awesome figure. I think he looks great. And I'm very, very excited to get this in hand. I'm hoping because it's Hono, there's going to be a quicker turnaround time like we've seen with a decent amount of these. But, dude, it looks awesome. How many of you guys are going to be picking this one up? I'm very curious. I know, Chris, I'm sure this one's probably currently not on your radar. But is it at all in a consideration for you down the line? Or are you like, you know what, I got my Vaders, because you know, that's one of the few that you get duplicates of. And I know you like Rebels. So what are your thoughts on this one, dude?
So, like, I don't want to insult the figure, but for me to get it, it would have to be cheaper. And I think the price is very fair for what you get. I'm on board with you with that. I just mean, like, I'm so far not interested in it. The only thing to reel me in was that if it was like a stupid deal that I just couldn't refuse, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that goes without saying. Like, I think it looks incredible. I like the red lenses, the shape of the dome, the body proportions. Like, they nailed it. The skinniness of the lightsaber, it for sure looks dope. And
oops, sorry guys.
I know, was it Justin? And we all kept talking about like this entry grade thing. Like, it's kind of weird to say that when you're getting something that looks this good for 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
I still don't know what that means to them, because if you're using the same type of suit, now I don't know if it is, but it looks like it, the same suit that they're using.
This is
it's not
listed
the
as like
new
a
nylon.
cloth. Yeah, it's listed as a cloth undersuit. It kind of has a nylon appearance, but they're deeming it as a cloth undersuit, which is certainly not pleather. I mean, we could see that clear as day. You know, it's not pleather, which again kind of sucks, because then we look at our other Vaders and they're all pleather, and we're like, you know, I haven't had any issues with mine, thankfully.
Yeah, so if this is cloth, is that better, you know?
I think it is. For posability. I think, like I said, without even having this in hand, just looking at the photos here, he looks way less stiff, if that makes sense, than a lot of the other Vaders look, because, you know, Vader is a stiff character. Look at him when he fights with his lightsaber. He's very stiff, you know, because basically, Palpatine created this suit to make him uncomfortable, to make him, kind of like weaker in a way, So,
Yeah.
it makes sense. But yeah, this looks like a very nimble figure, a much more nimble Vader, and I really like that about it. I think it's really cool. Real quick, I want to say what's up to a few people that have joined. We got Mr. J in the house. What's up, dude? We got Doug Gambino.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Great to see you, Doug Gambino.
They look like wrist pegs. Like, it doesn't look like a full gauntlet almost.
I mean, they are showing them as one piece, so I'm not sure if that's the case or not. I see what you're saying though. There's like kind of a
that's the second photo, because the photo before this, it almost looked like it was.
But they do look like they're sculpted in one piece, so that's most likely it's just the design inspiration from how they look on.
And those are my favorite gloves for Vader too. That rib design going that way.
Yeah.
So.
But we got the Gambino in the house. We got what's up, my dude, Fig Poser in the house. Who else we got? I saw somebody else. Yomo, I kind of briefly said what's up to you. What's up, Yomo? Another channel member, hotline hottie, if you will, and a moderator. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. OG fan says Howard Chan is like that bison meme on May the 4th. To me, it was I know, dude, right? It's just so funny how the timing lines up, and a lot of people were like confused. They're like, "Well, we're getting more on May 4th, right?" And I'm like, "Well, we just got like 5 figures, so no." And more than that, we got teases, right? So. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're going to have a kind of side discussion about that shortly, but yeah, it's funny how that works out for us here in the U.S.
And Kaiju Daddy, entry point, they said entry grade, but...
Yeah. They said, I think they said entry grade, right, or entry level. It's on one of these. Yeah, entry grade, there it is right there, entry grade, which... I think they're strictly saying that because it's a smaller price tag. I guess that's why they're saying that. But yeah, that Ash, this is a good way to put it. It's a good way to get a little taste of Hot Toys. It's a little bit cheaper.
Just a little taste.
Yeah, just a little taste, a little something sweet.
Something.
Yeah. What's up, Valk? Sorry, I don't know. I'm all over the place, guys. Valk says, I want the Vader. I know, dude. Like I said, in a perfect world, Hot Toys will continue to go down this Rebels line, and I'm not going to get my hopes up about it because they've only done those 2 troopers in this so far, but I would love to see them like do Kanan and Ezra and the whole Phoenix squad.
I was just about to ask you, if they do in that style, are you going to keep the live action versions as well?
Yeah, I would. Just because they're separate, like one's the Ahsoka show and then one's Rebels. I would. It would suck for shelf space, but I would. Doug Gambino says, I'm working at Lowe's part-time and have a little time for fun. Well, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're able to make time because I know we don't see you as often because I know how it is, guys. Fitting this into your schedule is tough, so I do appreciate you guys whenever you're able to make it. Yeah, Kaiju says it's more of a budget line. Yeah, like I said, as long as it doesn't get out of that, like once you get past like 220, we're losing that budget feel, I feel like they got to keep it in a certain price point or they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. By the way, we got my boy 12-inch Moose Stream in the house. What's up, Moose? Moose says Hot Toys is running out of Vaders. Not at all, dude. There's plenty more they could do. They could do a redeemed all-white Vader. They could do a frickin' Revenge of the Sith Vader. They could do a normal Revenge of the Sith Vader. They could do one of him on the table. There's a lot of meditation chamber
Chrome Vader, bro.
Chrome Vader. Like, dude, we say they're running out of stuff, and they just keep pumping out more troopers and more Iron Man figures. So don't challenge them, Moose. Well, I kind of want you to challenge them because I'll just keep buying all the Vaders. But yeah, they absolutely could continue. Yeah, Mr. J, like I said, they kind of have to keep it in this range or they're going to start like shooting themselves in the foot. But Sal says, I'm wondering if more people would get this if it wasn't Hono. Same Vader, but with premium materials and maybe some extra effects or pieces. I think so.
I personally wouldn't.
Yeah, I think people would. It's not going to be a hot seller regardless, I don't think. But I could be proven wrong, but I don't think this is going to be like a massive seller. Again, going back to my comment about them doing a whole Rebels line, if they continue to do a full Rebels line, then yeah. I mean, who's not going to buy like an animated Ahsoka fighting this Vader? Like, come on now. Imagine if they give you an animated Ahsoka and she comes with the helmet where his helmet is sheared off on the eye part like it was in Rebels. Like, imagine if they do that. That'd be crazy. Moose says I missed his first comment. Let me see if I can find it, Moose. If not, you'll have to like resend it. Oh, there we go. Hello, community of collectors. I succumbed to the Elite Trooper today. Surprised there was no SSQ. Yeah, we are going to talk about that, Moose. But yes, that was. It's funny because someone in the Hot Toys Hotline chat actually called it like hours and hours before. He said like, "Hey, you might want to set an alarm for 5 minutes before 1," and everybody was confused. And he ended up being right. So it's so funny how that worked out. Surprisingly, it was just so funny. But yeah, guys, we're going to move on for this Vader. Like I said, pretty dang cool. I know it's not going to be for everybody. I don't know if it's going to be a hot seller for them. I think a lot of people have plenty of Vaders. And I think, speaking of Revenge of the Sith, like I said, a lot of people are probably waiting to get Revenge of the Sith Vader, but we'll see. Yes, and yeah, I firmly believe that they will go and do that over time. They will definitely piss us all off by doing that, but I could see it coming. Just like with a lot of the Iron Man figures. Look, they went back and rescaled all of them, and like the Mark 7, I think, is a little out of scale at this point, so they're going to do another Mark 7 for sure. Yeah, back to Tank Vader. Back to Tank Vader, yep. That'd be sick. I'm down for any Vaders, like I said. A figure to me that I was really, really excited to see this one announced. This is probably one of the most exciting announcements for me.
You said that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jar Jar, you either love him or you hate him. I love him. I've always thought Jar Jar was hilarious. And I thought this figure, I thought the prototype looked awesome. And this looks great. It looks like they dialed in, Chris, they dialed in the hand pegs a little bit, that gap in between the wrist. It's still not like as seamless looking as like She-Hulk, for example, but they did dial it in a little bit, and I think he looks awesome. And I love that they have swap out face pieces, and also they have the swap out, or they have the, excuse me, the magnetic tongue that you can put in his mouth, because that's like essential, right? Especially in the Phantom Menace when he licks
his tongue goes numb.
Yeah, his tongue goes numb when he accidentally shocks his tongue in between the pod racer engines. Like, you got to have the tongue, right? That's just like so Jar Jar, but he doesn't come with a lot. Like, even with like the Black Series figure, I remember they gave him like a Gungan shield and like a spear or something. To be honest with you, I wouldn't need that for this. I would never pose him like that. Jar Jar to me is not a fighter, and even when he's a fighter, he's just doing all this stupid shit and accidentally,
I was gonna say, bro, accidentally killing them droids and stuff is hilarious.
Right. So it's like, I don't see Jar Jar as a fighter. I see him doing shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, he's goofy, and you have him in your display, like stuff like this. Like, that's a fun little display for Jar Jar. So. Dude, yeah, I don't need shields. I don't need spears. I don't need any of that stuff.
You already know Darth Jar Jar. Some people are gonna be customizing this. Like,
I know
it's a thing, bro.
Yeah, but he does look awesome. I'm really, really excited for this. Some people were, curious of, and you can see here what I was talking about with the wrist pegs. Definitely an improvement there from the prototype. They're pretty seamless when you don't have them like rocked at all, but. This is hilarious, guys. I mean, who doesn't want? If you're a Phantom Menace fan, you gotta want a Jar Jar in your collection.
Here's my only gripe with it, and it's not necessarily the figure itself. It's what Hot Toys has done in the Phantom line, the Phantom Menace line, and that's like Qui-Gon, Darth Maul.
Where's Obi-Wan? Yeah.
Yeah, no Obi-Wan. There's like no Padme.
And to be
like,
fair,
so who do you pair him with besides like him stomping on the droid like that? And there's no other Gungan. It's kind of hard. Unless
you can put him in Clone Wars
with
displays
Qui-Gon,
too.
But
he can go in Clone Wars displays, and yeah, I mean, he can go with Attack of the Clones figures. Like, there is a lot of stuff, but I will say I do think a new Qui-Gon is warranted, because that hair, like, they did change their technology on the hair where it's much more flexible now, and even with like Thor, like. His hair is just like a solid chunk, and I cannot stand it. It's a shame because the sculpt's pretty damn good. It bothers the crap out of me. Thank you so much, my friend. Big Dog Pound for the $2 super chat. He says, "May the force be with you. Happy birthday, bro." Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That definitely makes me smile. I appreciate you, my friend. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for my birthday yet, but like I said, I've just had so much going on with the pet stuff, especially. Like, I haven't had time to plan anything, but I'll come up with something. Tim says, I'm not even a Star Wars collector, although I love the original trilogy, but I'm excited for this Jar Jar. Yeah, like, dude, it's cool, man. I mean, like I said,
it's different. We always get like these. I mean, not saying he's not a main character, but like, it's a creature. It's another creature we get to collect that brings us more into that Star Wars universe. It's not just your Jedi or Sith or something like that. Like, it's very different, and I'm here for it. And obviously, because I'm a big prequel guy.
And I love the Phantom Menace. I think
for sure.
Phantom Menace is underrated. Moose says, excited for Jar Jar? Nah, it was more like a reflux for me. That's crazy, Moose. How dare you disrespect the goat? Ryan says, Misa happy with this one. Yeah, I'm excited to get this one too, dude. Like I said, for me, it's a hole filled in my collection. Out of all the recent teases for Star Wars stuff, I was like, dude, I hope they do that Jar Jar. And I think we kind of brought it up on last stream too. We briefly talked about Jar Jar, so glad to see it finally happen. This is awesome. Yeah, it is an awesome announcement, dude. Like I said, you either love it or you hate it, but it's sick, man. Sal says, excited to see it announced, but hard pass. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Sneaky Figures in the house. What's up, Al? What's up, my dude? A channel member and a moderator. Al says, sup, everyone. Not much, dude. We are just talking about Jar Jar Binks, the absolute goat. And thank you so much, Sneaky Figures. You are too kind, my friend, with a $2 super chat saying happy birthday. I appreciate it, guys. You guys are too kind. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here, as always, Sneaky. Tom, I briefly talked about it at the beginning of the stream. It's still kind of uncertain, still waiting to hear back results for an ultrasound that I got on Monday on him. So fingers crossed. You know, of course, there's always that thought that something could happen. Sean is going to be joining us. See, Sean is so kind to make these guest appearances. We're not expecting him. So we're going to get Sean in here for our Revenge of the Sixth stream. I'm very excited about that. Hold on one second, Sean. I want to send it over to you right now. Chris, do a little dance or something while I'm sending this to Sean. Oh, no, there we go. There you go, Sean. I just sent you the link. Was he dancing, guys? If not, I'm going to have to ban him.
I was doing like some snapping stuff.
There we go. Tron, what's up, my dude? Tron, dude, we're so close to Ares. I cannot wait. Cannot wait, man. That last trailer got me super hyped. But yes, Jar Jar is an absolute must for me. And Big Dog Pound speaking the facts as well. He says Jar Jar is a must buy. There may not be another one for a while. Yeah, it's true. I mean, and should there be another one? Not necessarily. You know, we've got our fill here, but because this is like obviously the main look for Jar Jar, though he does wear like traditional garbs and stuff throughout the Clone Wars and briefly I think in the Phantom Menace right towards the end he has like some more fancy clothes on. But this is that hero look for Jar Jar. This is what we wanted, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, this is where he has the most dialogue too. Like
exactly, and it's like he does all the goofy stuff in this outfit, so that's why we want it. Moose says, I think that it's the age thing. If you were in the young in the 90s, I could see that you enjoy Jar Jar. I was 30. I get it, dude. Yeah, trust me, I get it. And I know, like I said, a lot of people, it's hit or miss for them, but I think Jar Jar is hilarious. Yeah, he's got like droid pieces on his foot, which is funny that they utilize those. And Chris and I were talking about that. Obviously, we're seeing the tan B1 again, so where is that? Especially they showed him with the speeder a couple times. I want to see those tan B1s, but...
And we were also talking, like, those definitely look like the droid pieces that's used in the Obi-Wan Deluxe, like Revenge of the Sith. However, they don't have the charred, like, lightsaber mark. So, did they Photoshop it, or did they recast them, paint them just for this, and left out?
Probably.
That's
probably what they did. Darth Benevolent in the house. What's up, dude? Love the profile picture. That's sick.
But he doesn't even come with them.
Yeah. And like I said, 285, I kind of like halfway started talking about that. 285, people were saying like, you know, they didn't know about the price. I think for a brand new mold, 285 is not that bad. Like this is a completely new mold. They're going to charge more for that. Obviously, if there was something they were reused, they'd probably be a little easier on us. But thank you so much, my friend. 12-inch Moose Stream with the $2 super chat. Moose says, happiest of birthdays, my collecting brother. Enjoy. Well, thank you so much, my friend. I do appreciate it. You guys are too kind. I very much appreciate that. Angry Dog Hobby says, I can't wait till the Jungle Hunter Predator announcement. Me too, dude, but they got a lot of stuff to tweak. So I'm hoping that because we haven't heard much about it in a while, that they're going to tweak some things because there's a lot they got to fix on that. But nonetheless, I'm very excited for it as well. I hope they fix a lot of the stuff, though, for everybody's sake. Not just mine.
Look.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Sal says the non-human element of this is exciting. I really want Hot Toys to dip into more creatures, aliens, and monsters. Yeah, I mean, dude, like Sideshow just freaking came out of nowhere, freaking doing all this awesome classic original trilogy stuff with that Scum and Villainy line, and they just dropped a freaking bomb on us the other day, which of course we're going to take a look at. So yeah, I'm really excited for stuff like this, and like I love droids especially. I love seeing all these droids and stuff. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Droidekas, man.
Yeah, the Droidekas. Like Chris said, it's something different, and like even if you're not picking this up, it's something to root for as well, right? Because it's like, okay, like if they're gonna do a Jar Jar Binks, would they do some side characters that are goofy or different from DC, or would they do some side characters that are different from Marvel? Like, this just kind of gives you hope for something different, you know?
Star Wars is one of the, like with George Lucas and stuff, it's kind of one of those films, sagas, franchise that kind of put the puppeteering and work like that on the map. So when I think of Star Wars, of course, you're like automatically lightsabers, stuff like that. But realistically, when OT came out, it's like all these creatures that really immerse you into that universe, going into the cantina and seeing all these different species and the different planets, and it's just fun.
Like, and I hope this opens up opportunities for like Newt Gunray from Revenge of the Sith, like a lot of the Separatists, or even some of the or Wat Tambor. Like, I would love to see
be displayed dead on the floor.
Yeah. What? No. What's up, Sean?
No!
Thanks for being here, dude.
Hello,
Great to have you
children.
here. All right, see you, Sean.
Hey, Dad.
How's
Hi.
it going, Sean? Great
Thank
to
you
have
for
you
my
here,
3
dude.
seconds of fame today.
Well, thank Valk. You guys are too kind. Thank you so much, Valk, with the $20 super chat. You guys, like, I feel bad taking this much money. You guys are too kind. Valk, thank you so much. You are a saint, and the rest of you guys are the best. Valk says, your birthday burger is on me. Well, I guess I have to find a burger now. I think you've made my decision. I need to find a restaurant to give me. I do love burgers. Can't go wrong with a burger.
Yeah, but you don't even like Shake Shack or anything near you.
We do have a Shake Shack. It's actually by
I know,
the
but
Columbia
you said you didn't
Mall.
like it.
No, I'd never said that.
The
Chris,
one near you.
No, I said that was Steak and Shake, and that's been gone for 3 years.
Okay.
The Steak and Shake, for those of you guys who live in Florida or visit Florida often, the Steak and Shakes in Florida are like unmatched. I guess is that where they originated? Florida? I don't know.
That's like Checkers in Georgia for me. The Checkers here sucks.
We have one good Checkers here by me. We have one good one. The rest of them are awful. But Sean, thank you so much for being here. Sean, and once again, Val, thank you so much, my friend. Everybody else has been donating. You guys are too kind. Sean, are you getting Jar Binks?
I'm going to, just haven't ordered it yet. Just because, we've had so many things to order right now.
Especially today. I'm curious how many, well, we'll talk about that once we get to that figure, but I'm curious how many of those you were able to scoop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my plan is to order two
Jar Jars?
Yeah.
He's like,
2-1.
He's like, how many did you order, Sean? Yeah. That means 10.
So I was in a meeting, and then and I'm trying to order it, and then Connor's trying to call me to let me know that it's there.
I was spamming, yeah. So we're talking about when the Elite Squad Trooper went up. I was spamming the shit out because I was literally, dude. I was walking out of work, and one of the Discords I'm in pinged the Hot Toys roll like we do in my Discord, and I was like, they had to have just dropped one of the figures, and I saw it, and I was like, shit. Checked out, and immediately I thought of Sean because I remember like last time Sean was talking about it, he's like, I'm gonna try to get multiple. So I messaged Sean. I saw it said last seen 34 minutes ago or something on Facebook. So I'm spamming him, and then I called him. And then I saw that it had the online symbol. I'm like, okay, he's here at least. So then Sean messaged me. He's like, hey, thanks, dude. I was actually in the middle of ordering it, but I appreciate you reaching out.
He's like, I was getting it. And you like ruined his chances and stuff.
Yeah, I almost unintentionally screwed him. Ash, thank you so much for the 10 AUD. You're too kind, my friend. Again, guys, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Ash says, and have a drink on me and wash it down. Happy birthday. Well, I will. Thank you so much. You guys are too kind. I think it's time to do a quick little giveaway for you guys. So let's do, hold on, let's see. How about we get 5 free new Hotline Hotties? It's completely random, so we'll see who gets it. I always love seeing it. Let's see if Big Dog...
Please,
dude, I can't make that up.
Big Dog Pound, bro.
I literally was about to say, let's see if Big Dog Pound gets one. And look who gets one. Dude, that man's luck is unparalleled. Unparalleled. Big Dog Pound, I'm gonna freaking give you some money to enter the lottery for me. But congratulations to Big Dog Pound, my boy Jazzy in the house, Christian Crosshair Cooper, my dude, Ash Chase, and Ryan the Collector. So Ryan was actually the one in the Hot Toys Hotline chat who said, that everybody set your clocks for 5 of 1. He said this at like 10:30 EST, and there's like 3 or 4 people like, what is he talking about? And I got it. I had an idea of what he was talking about. I was like, he's probably saying like, maybe they'll surprise drop one of these figures, because I know he's been after the Boss, the Commando Boss, and the Elite Squad Trooper. And what are the freaking odds? He tells people to do that, and then it drops at the exact time
Everybody
that he
was
said.
like, "Nah," are so confused.
Yeah,
And
it's
then it
just
happened.
crazy. Absolutely crazy, dude. But I was laughing so hard. I immediately tagged him. And I was like, dude, no fucking way that you just called that. That's wild. Yeah, Ash, look at that, dude. Your generous donation to turn around and the universe gave you a membership. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, as always, who's been donating everything and saying kind words about my birthday. I appreciate it. Moose, yeah, I like Five Guys. I think Five Guys, out of all like the chain places, has some of the highest quality, because it's not like McDonald's quality. You know what I mean? It's not like Burger King. It's like a step above that, but it's still very quick. And their
People say
fries,
it's
dude,
pricey, but they give you a lot. Like they load you with a bag of fries, bro.
It is, but the quality is also better, right? So it's like, yes, it is pricey, and yeah, when you get their fries, even if you get the small one, the biggest mistake ever is to get the large fry. Unless you just have a crazy appetite, the small is absurd. It really is. But yeah, I'd love my favorite combination for sauce on a Five Guys burger is mayonnaise and A1. I'm telling you, it's so freaking good. Don't knock it until you try it. I was like, why do they have A1 on a burger? That sounds weird. It's so freaking good. My boy Tron with a 10 AUD super sticker. Thank you so. I didn't know you were from Australia, Tron. That's good to know. Thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Once again, guys, you guys are too kind. I'm gonna be having
you
steak
can see
at
the
this
super
point.
sticker on your end, but it's like a little.
I can't. Let me see.
It's like a thing.
Oh, it's a
like
dancing.
little pants. Yeah.
No, I couldn't see that on the end of StreamYard, but I just clicked in and saw it. See, Sal, dude, I'm telling you, it's like crack. If you don't like A1, you're not going to like it. But that combination at Five Guys with whatever you get on top of it is just freaking incredible. I know. See, Kaiju had to get me back because I always say rigged in his chat because I just never win anything. But yes, I guess you could drop the hashtag rigged. Beskar kid, my dude. I saw Beskar got 3 Elite Squad Troopers so far, and I told him hopefully he got a 4th from Sideshow because the others were from overseas. Thank you so much for being here, Beskar. As always, guys, if you haven't already, check out Beskar Kid on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. He's on there. And on Facebook as well. Excuse me. And thank you so much for the birthday wishes, my friend. I very much appreciate it. I hope I didn't miss any comments, guys. Oh, my boy 16 Lovers in the house. And, guys, I'm going to plug him every time I see him because I love this guy. 16 Lovers over on Instagram, guys. If you want to see very early, day one videos of all these figures, whether it's at Secret Base for a new announcement or in-hand stuff, he's already got plenty of videos up of Boss, and I think the Elite Squad Trooper as well. Plenty of the Sith Apprentice Vader. You name it, he's got videos on it, and he takes amazing photos, way better than my potato stuff that I take, so definitely check him out. Chris says, do you think they will re-release the Spider-Man retro cardback figs anytime soon? I think you're talking about like 3.75 scale, right? I don't know. Honestly, when it comes to the smaller scale stuff, that might be a question for like Kaiju Daddy or some of the other guys. I think the collector, you probably collect smaller scale Marvel stuff potentially. I don't know. When it comes to carded Marvel figures, I don't know anything. I mainly follow Star Wars stuff, so I wouldn't be able to help you on that one, but maybe somebody in the chat can answer that for you. But thank you so much for being here. Tom says, not telling how to live, but if you want to live past 50, please eat better. What, dude? I don't eat fast food often at all. Tom, don't you dare. Ask Chris.
Dude,
I'm the one that gets on Chris about eating fast. He's
every
lying.
single day, all the time.
He's lying, dude. He is such a liar.
All right.
Tom,
if I'm being for real, this dude won't even eat like a slice of pizza. Like he's
I don't
ridiculous
even
in my
Tom.
opinion.
So that's crazy you said that. I go to the gym 4 times. I know that doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy. I go to the gym 4 times a week. I eat chicken and rice basically all week until like my cheat day. So, you know, I appreciate the concern, but I probably haven't had Five Guys in like 3 years.
Every time I come over, he's turning around in his chair with a burger. He's like,
yeah, right. I don't drink soda. Like, dude, I feel
yeah,
Tom,
he doesn't.
you just,
I've never seen you sip a soda.
Tom, you just assume the worst about me, dude. Yeah. 16. Misa, need this. Yeah, you definitely need this. Everybody needs a Jar Jar in their collection. Let's be real. You all have to have a Jar Jar. Okay, Kaiju doesn't have. See, Tim? Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's preaching about the A1. Sneaky says, I'm out and about, tagging in chat, sucks on the I know, dude, trust me. I hate doing it. No, Tom, I don't. It's okay. I'm not offended by it at all. But no, I actually rarely ever eat fast food like that. Like I'm pretty good about my diet. Like I said, I go to the gym. Okay, see, look what you've done, Tom. Look what you've done. Back to formula. Stop it.
So everybody right now, no one say, no one make comments that Connor's fat or anything. Okay, we don't need him to go
Tom,
eat a
what
whole
is
bunch
this
of burgers.
rumor? Right, Tom, what is this rumor you started in the chat? All right, when Chris was before his son was born, all he ate was fast food, and I got on him so much, but I'm like, dude, you're killing your health. So it's just so funny that it's gone here. Chris is like smoking ear to ear.
What
He's
did they call it? I was
"Finally, some
sympathy
payback."
pregnancy eating. It's not my fault.
You know, Chris kept saying, I'm eating for two, man. I'm like, that is your wife, not you. Anyways,
Yeah,
guys.
you should have seen us when we were in.
You know what though?
In Disney, he was going to every concession stand.
Okay, in Disney,
possibly.
yes. In Disney, I'm like, dude, now I'm eating whatever I want, whenever I want. So yeah, I eat a lot because I rarely ever have sweets. I eat so many. Ask Chris. I'm eating like a cookie here. I'm getting ice cream.
He was
here.
like a cheeseburger egg roll there. Oh, what's this cupcake that's over here?
Yeah, not with mayo and A1 though. Like that's diabolical. You guys are wild. I don't know the secret, dude. This is crazy, Tom. Look what you've done, dude.
He got the Triple Chuck's Deluxe ice cream scoop sundae.
I've never even heard of that.
And then he added caramel on it.
I've never even heard of that, dude.
Well, I didn't until you said it. That's how I knew.
Fat says, I know one of the guys from Five Guys. His personal jet is pretty cool. I'll leave that there. Oh, so like one of the actual. I guess that makes sense that this company was started by Five Guys. I didn't know that, but that's pretty cool, dude.
It'd be hilarious if it was made by 5 girls and they refer to themselves as guys.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because technically, if you see a group of girls with some guys, you can say, "Hey, guys." Anyways, back to the Droidekas. Well, I should say starting with the Droidekas. We haven't said a word about it. But this is awesome, guys. I still stand by the fact that I wish that they would have done some sort of shield piece. And we were kind of chatting about this briefly on Facebook earlier on the announcement post when I shared it in the Facebook group. Which, by the way, if you haven't already, hop on over to the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. A great place to see announcements right when they go up. The chat is full of great people, always having great discussions in there. But there's a custom maker on Etsy that makes like really awesome 3D printed shield pieces. But it's as if they're like partially activated, or if they got like shot and there's like a gap in the shield, like, the shield was being broken. It's very
cool.
clever. Yeah, and after I saw that, I was like, Hot Toys could have done this, because it kind of reminds me of like the Mysterio smoke effect pieces, because that's exactly how they're sitting in the example photos from the Black
I said
Series
it could have been
custom
something
shields.
that just sits over top of them too.
Yeah, that too. Someone made the comment in the Facebook group like, well, that's hard to fit in the box. But that, with those two separate pieces, there is no excuse for that. So,
yeah,
I don't know. That didn't stop me from pre-ordering 2 of these because, this is my childhood.
They've done it.
dude.
If it's a ball, they could fit it like they did a diorama base.
It would just have
be
to have a
wider
seam.
ball. Yeah.
Or it'd have to have a seam. But as long as the seam is along the side where you can't see it from the front, I wouldn't care. But yeah, it didn't stop me from getting these. I did get 2 of these. I wanted to have one in the rolling position and one in the fully opened up position, because I remember I was just so infatuated by these the first time we saw them on screen in the Phantom Menace. Like, these are cool, man. And it's cool that Hot Toys was able to engineer it to fold up, just kind of like they did with the B1s, the Geonosian B1s. Those could actually go in their folded position as well. But yeah, I had to get 2 of these because that's like an inherent trait of this droid, is it rolling like that. I had to get 2 of them, but... This is really cool. Again, definitely a letdown that we didn't get the shield, but it looks like the prototype, and I just hope that it's sturdy. So far, though, and you guys can kind of share your thoughts, but I feel like even though a lot of the droids, especially like the super battle droids and the B1s, even though they're so light, they don't feel cheap. They're still, they got like sturdy joints. They feel like, as long as you're careful with them, you're not going to break anything. But
yeah, and when you put
I know we've all seen that video, dude, of the person cosplaying.
Oh my god, I was just about to say that. And the fact that he didn't put noises dubbed over the videos, like nobody did anything, just made it like so awkward. But he definitely could have done that.
Yeah, really. Yeah, these are really fun in Battlefront 2. I totally agree. I love that game, dude. I wish they would have continued to develop it. But yeah, Chris, sorry, you're about to share your thoughts, but I don't.
Oh,
He
I
just
was just gonna say Noah just walked in here.
Uh,
Not by himself. I'm pretty sure the wife put him at the bottom of the steps, but so I was just making sure he wasn't getting into
Yeah.
anything. But yeah, when you first see these, it's a really really cool moment and opening up and like the metal clanking as they roll around and
yeah, like
uh,
with their legs. Yeah.
yeah, like Pedro said, playing the as Battlefront 2 is pretty sick and fun. Sometimes you just roll around, not even
Yeah.
really shooting at anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Philly, what's up, my dude? I think I saw your comment earlier. I completely missed you. Philly, thank you so much for being here, my dude. I saw those pictures that you took the other day. I think they were May the 4th pictures. Amazing, dude. Philly is another person, dude. He makes me feel inferior when I look at his photos. And I'm like, dude, I need to get a camera. Like ASAP. I need to get a camera. Thank you so much for being here, Philly, a channel member, another great dude. Thank you so much for being here. Philly says, I just pre-ordered one today. May add another just because Connor said so. Get on these droids. Get on these. Droids tend to fly fast. Yeah, so like, yeah, for me, I had to get one. It was like with the Super Battle Droid, I really wanted one with a missing arm, so I had to grab a second one. So I have two of those. And again, that's how I feel about these. Like, I feel like even though they're light, they don't feel cheap to me, which it's like the Sideshow R2. I love to bring that up every once in a while and diss that, but that feels cheap to me. It's light and feels cheap. Like the parts are wobbly and stuff. I don't feel like that with the Hot Toys stuff. Yeah, me too, dude. Me too. I'm very, very excited for these. Sean, I know you buy a lot of clones, but have you been going like as crazy on the droids, like with the Super Battle Droid or the B1 Battle Droids? Like, do you army build those as well?
So for the droids, for the normal battle droids, I already had 5 or 6 of the droids from when Sideshow made the battle droids. I have 2 of the super battle droids from Attack of the Clones. I didn't want more than that, but just like you, I wanted the same with the broken arm. And the reason why is because they had teased the super battle droid from the Mandalorian. You know, where it has the blaster on both arms.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I've been,
Isn't
so
that
I've been
interesting
waiting
how
for
that
that
happened? Like they originally showed the Super Battle Droid from the Mandalorian in that like that scene where they were being saved by the Death Watch, and then they went back and did the version that we actually wanted. I just found that so interesting how it worked out like that.
Yeah. And then so for the Droideka, I only ordered one, but after seeing the final pictures and everything, I want to order a second one in a ball and one completely out. But one thing I noticed is they were very specific last night, or I guess early this morning for Hong Kong, of mentioning it's for episode 1.
For
You know, and with
for the Droideka.
for the Droideka, yeah,
Huh.
you know, they're because they have it written on there for episode 1. So I think we're going to see it again for the Clone Wars, because in the Clone Wars, you know, there were different colors. And I don't remember in Revenge of the Sith if there's any different colors or not. We didn't really see that many of them in Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure we saw him in Rebels too, right? That episode where
I would
Rex
think
and
so.
What's his name, and Ezra are there, and then there's the tactical droid.
I think you're right.
You know,
I think
there's
you're
all
right,
those old droids and everything, and it's where Ezra said, "Look, the Empire manipulated both of you."
Yeah, I think
You know,
I
kind
think
of
it's
made him-
Kanan and Ezra are in that scene. Maybe
Yeah, but
Callus is there too.
I don't know, but I know Rex is there, and so is that tactical droid and some of the battle droids. But
Yeah,
anyways,
I think you're right.
So I think we're going to see another version of this, and maybe they'll give us a shield. I mean, I would like, if they do give us a shield, I would like an option to where it shows like blast effects, like how it bubbles around it.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably
that'd be sick.
yeah, I mean, I know that's probably going to be hard to do, but
I mean, they kind of did that
Either
with
way.
the Matrix 4 Keanu. He had that piece of plastic in front of him with the bullet blips in it, and they had like the little piece of the bullet you could stick into it. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. They could
So
certainly
yeah, they
could
could
do
do
it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's my thoughts.
But I agree, and someone mentioned also, yeah, OG. I totally agree. I think they do look sturdier in these photos. I think they look well made. Like I said, I've been pretty happy with all the droids thus far. We just need those tan B1s, dude. Like that's so easy for them to do. It's crazy they haven't been announced yet, but yeah. And I would love to see some sort of like accessory with the tan B1s, like we saw with Jar Jar, where it's like a destroyed droid. Maybe that's why we're seeing that. I know that's a crazy theory, but maybe that's why we're seeing those like non-slight. I don't know, but I would love to see some broken pieces or something come with it, just to kind of fill in that battlefield in your display, if you will. My dude Jose in the house. Jose says, "Sorry I'm late. I thought Connor had canceled again." That's crazy, dude. I get it be your own friends that disrespect you the most. What's up, Jose? Thank you for being here so much. I appreciate you, my friend. But yeah, Sean, I totally agree. I think I could certainly see them reusing this mold, just like they reuse many other molds. So who knows? But I think you're right. I think I remember now that scene that you're talking about. I think that is in Rebels. Jump into the Elite Squad Trooper. I wanted to pull this up because I just thought this was so funny. Again, we kind of briefly talked about it earlier, but Sideshow and I think it's still up. It should still be up. Guys, if one of you wouldn't mind, one of our moderators or somebody, drop a link to the Elite Squad Trooper if it's still up. I think it should still be up because it was sitting for quite a while. Sideshow today at 1 p.m. EST just randomly listed up the Elite Squad Trooper, and they've been doing that. They did it with Maul, and they did it with that Vader, the two ones that originally launched at Star Wars Celebration Japan. And they just randomly put this one up today, and it was sitting. And I was surprised, but, you know, Sean, we kind of talked about this briefly earlier in the Facebook group chat. Oh, it is waitlisted now. Excuse me. And 1/6 Lovers kind of took the words right out of my mouth. Sean and I were talking about the value for this one is going to come if they do an Imperial Crosshair, which I think they're going to. After seeing this, I'm like, they're going to do an Imperial Crosshair. Once that Imperial Crosshair gets announced, everybody who was like, I don't know if I want this, then they're going to want this because, you know, then you could have the leader of this squad with some of these squad troopers behind it, and that's going to be sick. So maybe not right now it's sought after because there is so much other stuff coming out, and I totally understand that. This is like at the bottom of most people's lists unless you're like a diehard Star Wars fan or a big clone guy. I totally agree though, 1/6 Lovers, we have to get we got to get an Imperial Crosshair. That is like such a dope look and such a huge plot point. And they were gracious enough to do the entire Bad Batch minus Omega, so they got to do it, right? I mean, it wouldn't take much for them to do it. And I agree. I'm wondering the same thing, dude. Like, and I'm hoping Boss isn't difficult because I do want the entire Republic Commandos squad. So I'm hoping Boss is pretty easy because I do remember Scorch actually sold out pretty quickly, but that was a different time, right? That's where like the hype has kind of died off for a lot of these like side character limited releases. So I feel like it might be an easier time, but I could eat my words. Who knows? But I am surprised that it waitlisted. But with that being said, guys, there will be some cancellations for these, so certainly hop on the wait list if it's something you missed out on or you're interested in, because it would definitely be worth it, I think. What's up, 1/6 Star Wars Pimpazoid? 1/6 Star Wars Pimpazoid says, do you like how Sideshow's just dropping these Star Wars exclusives in the middle of the day with an OQ? I do like that, actually, because I think it causes less overload on the system. I know the queue is just unfair to a lot of people, like their network connection just not agree with Sideshow's website. I honestly, guys, a lot of these drops, my at-home network just gets cooked, and I get like thousands. I've been very lucky. I did get most of these, but like I missed Winter Soldier, I missed Artisan Anakin. You know, shout out to Gio and Jose for helping me out with that Winter Soldier because I missed. That happens a lot to me. Even like in the Shop Disney queue on May the 4th the other day, I was like 14,000 in the queue, and Chris is like, yeah, I'm just checking out the website. I'm like 750. I'm like, awesome. But he did
I
offer
went
to
to
grab
like
some.
171 like in a second right after I did that.
Yeah, and
So
I got screwed.
I got in pretty quick.
I actually, and honestly, Pimpazoid is probably going to be a mix of both. They'll probably do like randoms plus like pre-announced queues, but the last, 3 have been randomly dropped, so maybe they're trying that out. It's probably working for them, so The Imperial Command. It did, yes. That one did sell out quick. Yes. Of course, Maul. Is Maul waitlisted? I haven't checked, but I know Maul sat for a while. Of course, I know the Miles Morales. Maul is still in.
Maul is still sitting. Darth Vader is still sitting, and the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper is still sitting.
No, that one I think's gone. I think the Cherry Blossom
No,
waitlisted.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's back in because it was gone. So that's interesting.
That's pre-released right now.
Wow. Yeah, because that was gone. Because I remember checking because I was like, should I get another one to go with the Japan one? And I was like, nah. And then I was like, well, I guess I can't because it's waitlisted. Interesting. Yeah, dude, I would have been so sad if I missed that Harley. Yeah, I mean the Anakin one, obviously, that's a big one. I was glad that at the time I was like, you know what, I have to have this Anakin and I'll just buy one overseas. And I was lucky to get it basically for retail from Sideshow overseas. But I just had a feeling, I'm like, dude, if I miss this one, I'm going to be so pissed. And I did miss. I missed pretty bad on that Anakin. Chunker says, the Stormtrooper went so fast it absolutely waitlisted. 16 Star Wars Pimpazoid says, I got the Blossom Trooper, the Maul, this Trooper, and the Darth Vader boss is next. My boy's going hard. I kind of did too. Kaiju says, wait a minute. Okay, everybody, Sean, everybody's saying the Stormtrooper's waitlisted.
I'm looking right at it. It says pre-release. So I'm clicking on it right now. Okay, it says join waitlist. I didn't click on it.
Sean,
I just
you just gave so many people heart attacks, dude. The poor chat. Yeah, they're dude. Sorry, it was a little Revenge of the Sixth prank, guys. It was just a little prank.
So which?
No, it literally wasn't a prank.
Which one is waitlisted? Which one's
I'm taking a picture right now to prove my innocence here.
I believe you, dude. They're saying you have to click through it. I see what you're saying.
This Stormtrooper that's showing up, or
this
the
is
Cherry
not.
Blossom?
No, the Cherry Blossom is the one that's waitlisted. Everything else is still available.
And Sean is saying the Cherry Blossom is still available.
I'm lying. This is waitlisted now. I just straight up lied to your face. This is waitlisted. The Cherry Blossom is waitlisted. The other ones, the Maul, the Concept Maul, and the dueling effect Vader, those are still in.
So which trooper is Sean saying that's in, though?
He thought that the Cherry Blossom was still in. It's not. He just saw it pre-release. If you click into it further, then it says that it's waitlisted.
So to the collecting community and everybody that's on right now, I apologize that I did not do my due diligence and I did not click where I saw
it's all good
to make sure that it wasn't waitlisted. So
it's part
my bad.
It's part of being live, dude. It happens. We goof sometimes. It's all good.
So I did click on Darth Maul concept art and it does say for you.
It's all good, dude. Sean, so Elite Trooper just ordered at 6 p.m. Dang. Stone Cold Trooper wait. Kaiju says you have to apologize and free toys. Sean, so my question for you.
I will get some.
My question for you, Sean, how many of these were you able to secure? Because I know you're looking at getting a small army, pending, of course, we eventually get that Imperial Crosshair.
So I was able to get 3. Nice. Technically, if Jeremy Costa comes through, I'll get the 4th one.
And how many? Did he have 6 with him in the show?
No, only 4. Remember. He only had 4.
Okay. So
here's the thing, though. Over the weekend, I talked to CT603 about this, and we were talking about how, it doesn't have the flamethrower. He never had the Gatling gun, the Elite Squad Troopers. There's no flamethrower. And then with the long-barreled rifle, the one in the show had a scope on it, and the barrel was shorter.
That's a good point.
It's so...
Sean, let me ask you just a side note, since you brought up the rotary cannon. Are these those same stupid-ass hands with different paint that came with the 501st Deluxe?
Yes.
Dude.
So, and just so you guys know, the best way to do it is you get the open grip hand to go on the trigger area, and the left hand with the trigger is where you hold on to the actual carrying handle.
Yeah.
And that way you can pose it correctly.
It's just so dumb. They should have done a hand that's like fully gripped that you can kind of slide over the side, or like made it so the grip can like partially come off and then you just peg it in the hand. I don't know. It's just, I hate it. And my it's just like dangling on the 501st Deluxe, and I have to rearrange it every once in a while. But Crazy to think that the black and gold Batman is still in stock. That's actually wild. That's really wild. I did not know that was still in. I mean, that was like, when I saw that one, I'm like, why? Just why? Yeah,
Well,
that's true. This is a cash grab for sure. I mean, they knew people wanted it, and they knew it was like an easy little paint up job for them. But yeah,
see, and this is the thing though, is
I like the
I
data
have a
pad.
feeling
That's
we're going to
cool.
get Imperial Cody. I have like a strong feeling about it, just because of how popular Cody is for one, and they'll probably announce it around the same time as they do Imperial Crosshair.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't
And
at
then
all
we'll
think that
probably
this
see
is it.
a 2.0 of this with the actual freaking weapons it's supposed to have.
That would be disrespectful. I hope not.
Baby's going to the glass, Chris. Oh, baby down. And he's up.
Dude, he's just walking around screaming in here. That's why I'm like laughing. You guys can't hear. He's being wild.
But yeah, I mean the gold I think it's Batman Beyond. The gold Batman Beyond from the Arkham games. That was just such a random announcement. But yeah, Sean, that's a good point. This is very minimal effort. It's still really cool. I freaking love the green lenses. Just looks so freaking awesome. For me right now, the biggest hole for the clones, because we're going to talk about some more clones, where the freak are the 212s? Where are the 212th Airborns? Where it's Revenge of the Sith Anniversary, perfect time to give us Gree. Like, where's Commander Gree? Some 41st. Like, that's what I want. And, as someone whose favorite battalion is the 501st, I'm very grateful that we got a great selection of 501st. I've got my fill. I still want more, but I've got my fill for now. Like, we can take a break from 501st. You're not going to give us Commander Cody's battalion, especially on Revenge of the Sith Anniversary. It's the perfect time. So I would love to see some 212s. Even if we don't get the Airborne, though I really want it, I understand. But they have kind of that helmet, right, Sean, from the Purge Trooper. Like, it's almost there, right? So it's like they could do it. I don't know
Well,
if it's
we had
exactly the
that.
same, but
It is exactly the same.
they have
So
it.
we
They
had
have the
that, and
mold.
then we've also had two different teases. We've had the 212th Airborne, and then I don't know what the other Airborne clone trooper was for what unit
Yeah,
or
and then
whatever.
multiple Purge Troopers, too. I forgot about that. We saw, like, what, 3 different ones in that original announcement?
So, I mean, we've had basically like 5 different teases now. So I don't understand why it's so hard to come out.
I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe this is our time. Like I said, Gree. I mean, we got to get Gree, dude. Have Yoda chopping his head off. Got to. Kaju says we don't need... dude, a lot of clone collectors would disagree with you because there are a lot of people that just collect troopers, whether it's stormtroopers or clone troopers or both. There's a lot. And Sean, he's a perfect example of somebody. I collect all the clones, but Sean's a huge clone collector. I'm not saying you just collect only clones, but Sean's a big clone collector. And Sean even does like customs of a bunch of clones that like named clones that they haven't done. So there's a lot of people out there that would love to see it. I don't necessarily need a majority of the announcements to be clones, but sprinkle in the big ones there, and I'm happy. Like Phase 2 Fox.
You guys remember
Anyways.
that May the 4th when we got Emperor Palpatine, or not Emperor,
Sidious, Darth Sidious.
yeah, Darth Sidious and
the
Phase
1
1 Fox.
dude.
So the following year, I was saying we're going to get Chancellor Palpatine and Phase 2 Fox.
I know. I mean, and it's funny when you look at that May the 4th versus this year, we didn't do so bad, right? Jordan says, thank you, Kaiju Daddy speaks the truth. I mean, hey, to each their own. Jordan, I bet you if they kept announcing Jokers that were like high quality, you'd be pretty happy. He thought your Jokers.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if they had a paint job clone trooper, based off of the Joker, Jordan would be okay with it.
Right. Yeah, dude, Yaddle would be sick. It's funny, randomly on my feed earlier, I saw that scene again with Yaddle when Dooku ends up killing Yaddle in, was that Tales of the Jedi that he killed Yaddle? Or is it?
Yeah, Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, I saw that scene again, and it's so heartbreaking. And, like, honestly, her last moment was kind of lame because she's just, like, trying to force push that big door open, and then I do like the shot of, like, the sunlight shining through. Like, that's a cool little little nod there, but yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, back to our clone topic. We actually did get a tease of the entire Republic Commando squad, which is really cool. Of course, these are not based off of the video game, unfortunately. Those are the ones that we all would have wanted, the slightly more bulky armor, and it seems like, Sean, they're reusing a lot of parts here that they previously used on the other commandos. But
so what a lot of people don't know is there is one short 2-minute scene where it's the first time Savage Press was in battle and killed some clones and a Jedi and his Padawan, and the clone commandos went in and retrieved the body. They don't show that part, but what they show is the commandos arriving back, returning with the body, and
Right.
These match exactly how they appeared in that episode, and that's the only time we ever saw all 4 of the commandos.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, of course, in a perfect world, I would have liked to see, and all of us would have liked to see them use the VGM license for this, but it's like you either have this or nothing, and I know some people might be so extreme with the clone accuracy where they're like, I'd rather have nothing, I'd rather have this, because they still have dope paint jobs, they're going to look awesome together on the shelf, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for these, and I hope that Boss isn't too difficult to get. Speaking of Boss, that would be the first one that has been released because people already have this in hand in Hong Kong. We do have final product photos of Boss here. He looks awesome. I mean, he's honestly the more plain of the bunch, so not the most exciting of the 4 of them, but he still looks really cool. I think he looks great. He's going to look awesome
technically,
next to
Boss is
Scorch.
the second because Scorch was the first.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about, I should have specified from the photo that we just got teased 3 new figures. He's the first of that group. But yeah, Scorch we already have in our collections. You see Scorch here in the background, but Boss is the first of the 3 teased remaining members of the squad. And I think out of the 3 teased, he's probably the most boring of the 3. Still really cool to have him. Yeah, he looks awesome. I hope he's not too difficult to get on Sideshow. I think this one's limited to 2,500 worldwide, and the Elite Squad Trooper was 1,500, which is surprising he sat so long, but I guess it's just more of a niche thing. By the way, congrats, Tom, on that, and I know who was able to get it for you. Our boy Kaiju Daddy, because he's just too kind. Kaiju Daddy's asking, does anyone need Galen Urso? If you want it, guys, that's your chance to take him up on that. Philly says, I'm all in with the Skittle Republic Commandos. They look badass. Are they re-releasing Scorch? Sucks if they won't. I doubt it, because that was a limited... Well, I say that, and then they just pulled that move with the swag trooper on us, with the range trooper, but I don't think so. But also, Scorch is hovering around retail or under retail, so I think if you want them, you can get them for what everybody else paid. You don't have to pay anything crazy. Scorch is awesome, though. I do really like the figure. I know, again, it's not what we wanted for the video game versions of the versions of these armors, but it still looks awesome in person. And I love the way that they did the visor, the way it lights up and the way it's painted. Even if it's not lit up, it still looks really cool. So, but yeah, Sean, would you be getting multiples of those or just one of each because they're so specific?
No, I just need 1 of each. So that's all I'm going to do is...
Yeah.
I have 2 of Scorch, but my plan was to eventually... I figured they would eventually release or announce these.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I bought 2. Have 1 with the Commandos and then 1 with my Bad Batch collection.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, really cool. I'm really hoping that I wonder if they're all going to be limited to the same amount. I would imagine so. They're probably going to be all limited to 2,500. But yeah, I feel like these might be easier to get than we expect. Fingers crossed. One figure that is long overdue. We're talking, they're 4 or 5 years late on this one, at least. We finally, and we kind of made jokes about this when Moon Knight dropped. We're like, well, shit, they're working with Oscar Isaac. Are we going to see Poe come out of hiding? And sure enough, we have Poe Dameron after all this time. And I'll say this, guys, everybody, we all have our qualms, obviously, with the sequel trilogy, but I think Oscar Isaac did a great job as his character. I think he was one of the more consistent, more interesting characters throughout the films. he didn't get nearly done as dirty as like Finn did with his character arc in the last film. So I think this is awesome. You guys know, despite my thoughts on like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, I have a big sequel trilogy collection. I got a lot of these figures super cheap. I've got Finn. I've got the Finn FN2187, like the Stormtrooper version. I've got Phasma. I've got multiple First Order troopers. I've got every single Kylo, every single Rey. So I've got a pretty big sequel trilogy because I love those figures. They're awesome. And I like Kylo. I like Poe. So I'm going to be getting this one. I think he looks great. Love how the flight suit looks. Love the head sculpt, and I don't think this head sculpt is exactly the same as Mr. Knight. I've kind of compared them, and I think there are some subtle differences and some changes made to the sculpt. Another thing I really want to say is I love the helmeted look. I think the helmet fits very nicely on the face. I think they did a great job at fitting it to the sculpt. I hope there's plenty of foam in there. This looks like maybe there's some foam there. But I'm so tempted to display him with the helmet on because I just think it looks so good. And I actually really love the helmet design, like the way they translated it over to a new design from like the original flight helmets that we saw like in the original trilogy, for example. I think it looks awesome, dude. I think it looks fantastic. I love that the visor still goes up and down like we've seen with previous, like with the Snowspeeder Luke. I think it looks great, man. Great looking sculpt. The flight suit looks awesome. I like having the Rey and BB-8 pack. BB-8 obviously is going to be a perfect pairing for this guy. And Oscar Isaac is just that dude. He's a great actor, and I love basically everything that I've seen him in. So excited for this one. Excited for Mr. Knight. We kind of got our knockoff Poe Dameron here. There we go.
Yeah, knockoff.
Chris, this is actually one that you're going to be after, right?
Yeah, bro. No, not at all. It's not even the right helmet, but it's the closest I got. But yeah, man, this was like, I'll start with saying, like you said, the freaking, what's it called? Sequel trilogy or whatever, out of them, the seventh one is my personal favorite as well. So being able to have this guy to kind of round out that trio of like Finn and Rey and him is really awesome. I still have yet to get a Finn in the collection. I do have Rey and Kylo from Force Awakens, and BB-8. But I want, the only way I get Finn, and I've told you this before, is with that 2-pack of the Trooper, and you can find it for a really good deal. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it, so I want that. And then to have this guy, I think would really complete that kind of portion of Star Wars for me. I don't really need to go in too deep like you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he looks incredible. I think it looks exactly like Oscar. And, you know, of course, because it's got the moving eyes, that's always a big plus. And to me personally, like, even if they had reused it, I don't think I'd be bothered by it because we're literally, we're getting a Poe at the end of the day, is pretty much.
He does look a bit older, of course, though, in Moon Knight, so I would have been, like, slightly bothered, but if it had a different paint job, it would have been fine. But yeah, I do think this is an updated new head sculpt, different for this figure, but I agree.
Yeah.
I think this looks awesome.
Yeah. I guess I get that, like, if it was reused, but I mean, it's him, so it looks like it. Damn, it's Porkins? That's crazy, bro.
I was waiting for you to see that. Well, someone said, is that Red 5 standing by? And I said, it's Porkins. By the way, what's up, Steve, my dude, Figures and Fandom, a channel member and a great friend, all around great dude. Thank you so much for being here, Steve, as always. And you just made it in time to see Red 5 standing by. We you didn't think we had the budget for it, but we did. We made it happen.
Yeah, you didn't think we had it, but we did.
But yeah, so you'll be picking this one up, Chris, then. You'll be adding this to your collection.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Sal, I don't
away
know.
now.
Yeah, it's like the really shitty Star Wars theme played on like the recorder. It's like Sal, yeah, Sal, I don't think we'll be seeing 2.0s, unfortunately. I think this is mainly like an Oscar Isaac thing because, he collects some Hot Toys and, he's been working with Disney closely with Moon Knight and stuff. And Artisan Kylo would be amazing, though. Damn. Lane coming in, swinging. He said he looks more like Biggs. Well, hey, Biggs, he might not have lasted long, but Biggs is a cool dude. Sean, I imagine this one potentially would not be on your radar at all here. I don't know if do you have any sequel trilogy stuff?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, so I like the Force Awakens movie.
Me too. That's my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah, it's, from The Last Jedi, the only parts that I liked was the fight scene with the Praetorian Guards.
Yeah, the throne scene is very cinematic. I like that too.
And then the on crate with Luke versus Kylo.
Yeah.
That's about it for The Last Jedi. And then there's that other movie that we got to see, Lando. That was a pretty good part. And the part where Finn's like, Poe Dameron, Spice Runner. Poe Dameron, Runner of Spice. It's John Boyega and Oscar Isaacs are so good together. I want to see them in more movies. It doesn't even have to be Star Wars related, but I want to see them in more movies.
Yeah, it almost makes me want to make a custom Poe with the jacket on, because obviously he gave that jacket to Finn, and that's how Finn kind of got his main look. But yeah, that'd be cool to have him in the jacket, replicating that OG. I mean, I am glad that they've gone with the flight suit because he's a pilot at the end of the day, and he's the GOAT pilot in the films. So,
dude, I got the bootleg movie over here. It's like, Babu Frick, that's you, BB-8. You got a different paint job, bro.
Dude,
but
budget sequel trilogy over here.
Yeah.
I have
that writing I just did right there was better than what they did in 8.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Chris. Anyways, but no, I'm getting it. I do want to get a second head sculpt, because basically what I want to try and do is, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've watched The Force Awakens. The same outfit that Finn's wearing is basically what Poe was wearing.
Pretty much, yeah. Of course, the shoes and stuff are different, but yeah, pretty much the same.
Yeah, so the shoes would be different, but wearing the coat and everything, and
I think he had a tan, button-up shirt, a couple buttons.
I can't remember, so I'd have to look and.
Yeah,
but I would like that too. Having a normal version.
Dang,
of him.
Philly, that sucks. Philly said he made a custom of this. Yeah, I guess that's always the risk you take making customs like that. But obviously with this, who would have thought this would freaking get announced after all these years? Oh yeah. So, Sean, something I want to pull up as well, because this is the end of the Hot Toys May the 4th stuff. So I wanted to bring this up, guys, and I am going to poll this, and we can all kind of quickly share obviously it's a quick little thing, but I'm going to start a poll. And Sean, you could, since you're already talking, you can give your answer on this. Do you think this year's May the 4th was a letdown with what we received from Hot Toys, all the announcements and teases, of course, included?
So if I look at it as an entire whole, they gave us stuff early just because of how May the 4th fell on a Sunday. So they gave us announcements on the 2nd. They've given us a lot of Star Wars announcements recently that have been really good. A lot of exclusives, a lot of things being released within a few months. Overall, with this stuff here, if it wasn't Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary, I would be 100% content.
Yeah.
But to not even get anything from Revenge of the Sith was a complete letdown. Even if they just gave us one thing or gave us a tease. But overall, am I happy with what we got announced? yes. Like, so for example, a lot of people aren't into that whole dueling Darth Vader. My plan with that Darth Vader is put it behind the Ahsoka Anakin and have some lights flashing that go red and yellow
That'll be cool.
behind him, to straighten it out more. And because it's the red and blue colors, okay, Anakin has a blue lightsaber, Darth Vader has a red one. So to me, that just worked. Instead of grabbing another Darth Vader, I'll just use that one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's interesting. We've seen no merchandise or anything. It is the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens. Yeah, 2015. I didn't even think of that. Huh.
Well, I mean, right here, Poe Dameron.
Yeah, but like,
it's just not labeled. You're right.
Usually,
You're right.
like,
It's not labeled.
Right. There's like 45th anniversary ESB stuff out right now. There's 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith stuff. We had Attack of the Phantom Menace stuff last year. So I guess they realized that people don't really care. A majority of them don't care. So they're like, well, we'll wait till the 20th anniversary and we'll see if that hits. But yeah. So you're saying, like, you're not unhappy with the announcements, but it's somewhat disappointing because there's been no Revenge of the Sith stuff. I mean, I guess I guess the Emperor Palpatine's the only thing we saw from Revenge of the Sith, right? That's all, right?
Right, but that was like, days before.
Right, that wasn't part of this technically.
It's like May the 4th, to me anyways, should be something specific, spectacular, like how it used to be. Like May the 4th for the anniversary of Attack of the Clones, we had 5 announcements for Attack of the Clones.
Right.
Before that, we had the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. So what do we get? We get Darth Vader and Boba Fett announced and released on May the 4th. They were instant releases.
Yeah, that's true.
It was only 2 things, but you were getting them right away. And a lot of people were upset because they missed the actual Darth Vader for Empire Strikes Back because of the display base. And then they, basically reissue it, just rebranded it with the 40th anniversary in a new box. And a lot of people were happy about that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did that for Vader and Boba, like you said, which I actually didn't have the Vader. I never bought the original Vader because at the time I wasn't like buying multiples of Vaders. But I did have the Boba, so I ended up just keeping my original Boba, and then I got the anniversary box Boba as well. Yeah, dude, trust me, Jose, we're all really hoping they do that Padawan Obi-Wan. When? Who knows? It's crazy they've done so many Obi-Wans and not the Padawan one from the Phantom Menace.
But I don't know. I think because another way I'm looking at it too is, okay, look at everything that we got shown from Sideshow on the 7 figures, to go for Return of the Jedi. Why they didn't get shown for Return of the Jedi's 40th anniversary?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's because they announced the Scum and Villainy line, which we're going to look at those briefly next. But yeah, I mean, so my thought on it is, compared to what we've seen in previous years, I don't think it's disappointing at all. Because look at, number one, whether they were all or none of them for you or what, look at how many figures were instantly released for Star Wars Celebration Japan that have also gone up on Sideshow, most of them. And then we have all these figures announced. We have some teases of figures that haven't been announced. So, of course, being a diehard Revenge of the Sith fan, I agree with Sean. Like, I would like to see some Revenge of the Sith stuff, which I do think we're going to. I don't at all think that, we didn't see it from May the 4th, so that's it. No, there's going to be Revenge of the Sith stuff. How many, that's hard to say because sometimes you expect a lot and you don't get as many as you think. But we're going to see some Revenge of the Sith stuff. I think, generally speaking, May the 4th was a win just because we did get a decent amount of variety and a decent amount of stuff announced. And again, everything that came right before that for Star Wars Celebration, like, in 3 weeks, we got, 10 figures, 11 figures. Like, that's pretty damn good. That's a lot of hard work. although some of them are repaints, of course. That's a lot of hard work from Hot Toys. So, yeah, Big Dog Pound, I would love to see that, dude. For now, I have that third-party one in my collection, which is decent enough. Of course, it's not Hot Toys quality, but I would love to see that. I love that, love that Attack of the Clones Padme. She's beautiful. They did a great job on her. Chris, any thoughts on the question of whether this May the 4th was a letdown or not before we move on to our next topic?
I'm kind of in the headspace of like, it's kind of like I don't want to be upset because we still did kind of get something. Like they didn't have to do anything at all. So I think in that sense, the right thing to kind of say, and it sounds cheesy, is like to be grateful that they did do some stuff. It does kind of suck, obviously. Like for Celebration, they had the exclusives, but they got to do something, and they were super hard to get. One being that Sith, Anakin, Vader, whatever have you. But it's not like we didn't get anything that we were super hyped about. Or that somebody wasn't hyped about. Like somebody got a piece of everything, whether it's from Legends, the sequel trilogy, we got from the prequel trilogy, and that being Jar Jar, and we did get a Darth Sidious and 2 head sculpts. So I think there was some really, really cool stuff to come out. And I think as being Hot Toy fans, we kind of get tunnel vision, and you're kind of like, okay, we got this, now what's next? And you're constantly like looking for that
or
next
you're like
thing and
that
next
specific thing I
validation.
wanted, I didn't get, so you're like
Exactly. So you're
else.
feeling like for me, obviously, the Obi-Wan stuff, of course I wanted to see that. But just because they didn't do it this time around doesn't mean that they won't do it. Like they could do it a month from now and I'll be happy then. So I think it was a good May 4th. I think they did good for what they did.
Yeah, well said. Big Dog Pound asks, do you think there would be a shock drop for Artisan Darth Vader this week? I guess you're talking about like a Revenge of the Sith, like, Dark Side Anakin 2.0. I don't think so. I mean, I'm still in the club of I think that we are going to get a true like Dark Side Anakin 2.0 from Revenge of the Sith, because I'm sticking to it, dude. This last one was an Ahsoka, the Sith Apprentice Vader. That's an Ahsoka figure.
Bro, I'm definitely sticking with that as well. It's on the box. It's on like in the eyes, just shipper. In the blogger photos, like how he's posed, how he's walking with the smoke and stuff, you lack conviction. It's all in the writing, bro.
Yeah. So I do think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen this week. But and Lane was asking about the Thunderbolts. Lane, we're going to take a look at that photo before we end out the stream. But yeah, we're going to move on from this topic. Great thoughts, Sean and Chris. I do want to close the poll before I forget. 55% said no. Oh, it literally just changed as I clicked end. So 52% said no, 48% said yes. So again, it doesn't surprise me because what happens, like Chris said, you get tunnel vision, and if you don't see things you're particularly looking for, you're like, most of this stuff, if not all of it, is a pass. This was BS. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm just looking at it from, hey, Hot Toys put out 10, 11 figures in a 3-week time span, which is pretty damn good. But I get what you guys are saying. Trust me, those who are let down, trust me, I get it. But don't you worry if we're looking for Revenge of the Sith stuff. I do truly believe it's going to happen. Sean kind of briefly brought it up. I just wanted to kind of show you guys real quick. Sideshow is continuing with their Scum and Villainy line, and they're doing the entire skiff crew from Jabba's sail barge, which is pretty freaking cool. And they actually showed a full photo with Bib Fortuna and everybody, and it's 7 new figures here, which is pretty damn awesome. It stings, though, because as I look at this photo, I'm like, I know I'm going to get all of these. The space is going to suck, and the money is going to suck. So hopefully these freaking tariff fees get dropped before these figures all go up for pre-order, because holy crap, this is going to be expensive. But super cool, super nostalgic. A lot of these Scum and Villainy figures from Sideshow are looking really freaking good, man. I got all of the other ones that they announced, like Greedo and the whole like Scum and Villainy first wave from the A New Hope Cantina scene. Yeah, it hurts to look at it that way. It hurts to look at it that way. It sucks, but dude, like these are incredible, and these are figures you don't see very often, and probably won't see for a long time. Like, this is amazing, and it's crazy that they've gone and done all of them. And you might see that whole photo, but they're not going to announce all those. They've done them all with the with the A New Hope ones. They've announced all of those, so very, very excited for this. I think this is really cool. All the sculpts are looking really nice. The clothing looks nice. Love the photos, the advertisements here. This is really cool. And yeah, that's the other thing. That Jabba the Hutt got reissued, and he went from $850 to like $1050 or something, like over like a $250 price hike. That sucks. That sucks. I was considering it, but I'm not paying over $1,000 for that. So I'll wait and see. I'll wait and see what happens with that. But just wanted to show this to you guys. We're not going to talk about that in detail. Also, as Lane brought up, they did tease the Thunderbolts. I'm not seeing Walker here, which is interesting. Maybe he's not ready to be teased yet. To be honest with you, I haven't seen the movie, but most likely I won't be getting any of these figures. If I do get one, it would just be the Red Guardian, just because I love David Harbour. And unfortunately, that Hopper, 1025, sorry, thank you. That Hopper from 3-0 turned out pretty awful, in my opinion. All those Stranger Things figures were pretty rough. So I'm like, there was my chance to get David Harbour in the collection. I don't have the Hellboy, because I would rather have a Ron Perlman Hellboy, even though I didn't mind David Harbour. I just wasn't a huge fan of the movie in comparison. But yeah, I'm curious to see if they do the full squad again for me.
Another Yelena, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider the Yelena because I don't have the snowsuit one, because I don't care for that look at all. But at the very, very least, I think I might consider the Red Guardian. But we'll see.
I'm not collecting any of these. I think
I probably won't either.
Tapping out with Marvel as far as, unless it's the original Avengers. I think that's the direction I'm starting to lean to, especially with all this Star Wars coming now, and now more prequel stuff that I want. So
yeah, I gotcha.
Artisan
Yelena would be wild. That would be wild. Yeah, I see a lot of people saying.
I'm excited for that Widow, bro.
Yeah, Widow's gonna be sick. Speaking of sick, we have the official announcement and pre-order date. You know, InArt has broken their silence. They've been quiet for a bit. We have the official announcement for Snape here, for Severus Snape, and contradicting Gryffindor. Contradicting to what InArt said not long ago on streams. They said that, you know, they're going to stick to one movie for now. This is a Half-Blood Prince, Severus Snape, which I am happy about, because this is personally my favorite look for him, and my favorite, scenes of the character were in Half-Blood Prince. Because, just Harry, like, reading through his spells in the diary, and you dare use my own spells against me, and he figures out that the Half-Blood Prince is Snape. Just really, really cool scenes, and so I'm happy that they went with this version. Though I do understand that people who were told, hey, we're sticking to one line, some people have like a collecting OCD like that, where like, I want to stick to one line. So I would understand if you're a little upset by that, because I get it. You want to stick to one film, and you just want to, organize your collection that way. Again, with that being said, I think this figure looks freaking amazing. I would never pose him without the robe on. I feel like that just completes the look. It just looks weird to me not having him with the robe. Like, you got to have him with his robe on. The likeness on the head sculpt is freaking incredible. I mean, if this isn't spot on Alan Rickman, I don't know what is. It looks amazing. I will say, like, the hair, like, I saw a couple people commenting about the hair, saying it was a little too, like, slicked down for the Half-Blood Prince film, because he had a bit more, like, fluffiness to his hair. That's easily fixable when you get it in hand. If InArt doesn't modify it for the final product, you could fix it. Just, kind of fluff out the hair a little bit. It looks amazing. It truly looks amazing. Like, that is Alan Rickman through and through. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care what anybody says. You can't convince me otherwise. This is a freaking spot on prototype head sculpt. It looks amazing. And I could not be more excited for this one. I really, really want to see some more stuff for Harry Potter. That Richard Harris Dumbledore, I'm shocked that nothing has come of that. It looked like it was ready for pre-order years ago. I don't know what's going on with that. So I hope to see that again. That Malfoy, obviously that's going to happen for sure. So I imagine, I was talking to Jose the other day about this. I imagine the Malfoy will probably be next, because they did show, a tease of that at the recent InArt showing. So I'm excited to take a look. Let me see. Thank you, Moose, for the $2 super chat. Moose says, can you check your messenger and respond, please? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 sec. I don't know, Moose. I don't know because I don't talk to him on there. I could just tell you what his Facebook is. Before you do anything, if you want, we'll be ending out the stream soon, and I'll answer that question for you. I don't know for sure, so I don't want to tell you, but yeah, I don't know for sure. But I will tell you afterwards, if you hold on. Gio says, did you guys go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter? No. So obviously they're just now letting people in technical previews for Epic Universe. I've seen the other 2 original Harry Potter parks. I've seen those. They're amazing. Great time.
They are butterbeer on point.
Yeah, but I have not seen the new park in Epic Universe. So I'm excited to see that. I'm hoping to see Epic Universe maybe later this year, because obviously got to recoup some funds from all this craziness with the just being back from vacation and the vet bills and stuff and all these pre-orders, like everything just all at once. But yes, I haven't seen it yet, but I would love to, and I plan on it, especially like the Universal Monster stuff. I'm very excited to check that out. So yes, everybody, as you go on InArt's page, if you're a Harry Potter fan, join Jose and I. We're going to start begging them for Sirius Black every single day, because I really want a Sirius Black, dude. And like the outfit that he was wearing right before he was killed by Bellatrix, that's what I want. That like brown, blazer that he has on. Like, dude, Sirius Black is such an underrated character. Love Sirius Black. SG Collectible says, Snape is going to be a must pre-order for me, even though I still don't have Harry or Ron. Dude, you got to get on that, man. Those are awesome figures. So this is going up on the 9th of May. It is not a worldwide licensed figure, so unfortunately, if you're in the U.S., you can't get it from InArt Direct like we could with Paul Atreides or Michael Jackson. Unfortunate. I wish they would work that out, because it's just so easy to pre-order directly from InArt, and it comes so fast. But 1/6 kit will have this available. Of course, I will have a coupon code, as I always do. So some of you guys, when I post up that coupon code, you're like, I wish I would have known sooner.
Now,
I will be getting a code,
tariff
I'm sure.
thing with them, InArt's doing that as well, because it's not like Australia or something like that. They're Hong Kong as well. I don't know.
But they don't ship
InArt
directly
is.
to the U.S. for this, so it wouldn't matter. They're not shipping
Yeah,
to the
no,
US.
no. I'm saying like, because if you're getting it through kit or whatever, you're still paying a tariff fee.
Well,
on
yes,
top.
kit is going to have to adjust accordingly, but that's like your only option, unless you get it from Spec Fiction, which you can get it from Spec Fiction, but just know you're going to get it like 8 months after everybody else. And you think I'm joking? I don't know why, but their InArt stuff is extremely slow. So,
Hey, so I think we need to clarify something, though, about the tariff situation. It doesn't matter if it comes from Australia or Malaysia. If there's a tariff on Chinese products that are made in China, regardless where it's coming and it's coming into the U.S., a tariff has to be paid.
well, no, I was saying, because Chris was asking in regards to this Snape, I was personally thinking he was saying like people buying from InArt Direct. This can't be purchased from InArt Direct in the U.S. So that
I know
apply. But I know, I get, we're on the same page. Yeah, Sean, I wasn't saying that. I was saying for people that like, say you're in Australia, you're able to buy directly from InArt. That won't affect them, because we can't buy this in the U.S. directly from InArt. This is not a worldwide license, so we would have to get it through kit. So yes, getting it through kit.
Okay, I misunderstood you. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Okay, yeah. No, yeah, I was just saying like it wouldn't affect us because we can't buy from InArt Direct on this one. But yes, buying from kit, we would be subject to the tariff stuff, of course. Yes, Bellatrix would be amazing, and to see that like layered, colored, messy hair in 6 scale, like rooted hair, would be so freaking cool. I want a Hagrid. I know they said they're not going to do a Hagrid. Yes, I did get my InArt Batman from Spec, and it took forever. I've only had it for like 3 months, I think. So, yeah, think of that, guys. My InArt the Batman just came in from Spec 3 months ago, and I think there's still people that don't have Ron Weasley and stuff, so they're legit. They certainly are legit, and I've heard they're much quicker with statues, but when it comes to InArt, they're very slow. So just keep that in mind. And just because you're buying from a U.S. retailer doesn't mean that you're not going to get charged tariff stuff, because we see that's happening with comic shops now. So I'm just going to buy from Kit. He always gets stuff very fast, quick, packages it well, and buy from Kit. I won't be doing that, Kaiju, but I know it would be cool to hang out with you there in Japan. But yeah, guys, this Snape looks amazing. I'm definitely going to be picking this up. I'll be pre-ordering it when it goes live. Chris, I know you'll be getting this one as well. I don't know if you have any additional thoughts on it before we kind of close out the stream here, but
No, I think the only thing is that InArt would have to definitely answer some things onto why, after talking all that stuff, like you said, that it's not from the first 3 films or whatever, or I mean the first film.
Yeah.
And they ended up going with this version. But yes, I got Harry and Ron already here, and then Hermione on pre-order. Dude, I know you're excited about Snape. It's all right.
it's just Snape, dude. It's not Harry.
Okay.
That's not him crying, by the way, guys. He just does that when he gets
excited. Yeah.
Like when we were out to eat on our vacation, he was just doing it the whole time. He was just screaming out of excitement.
Yeah, see? It's just Snape. You're good.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I thought it was Harry. My bad.
Harry's in the kids. But yeah, I'm excited for this
agree.
one. It's going to be a pre-order for sure. I can't wait for Hermione to come, and I'm really, really hoping they do Malfoy, because like that lounge chair area, like how it looked like the room was really, really cool.
Yeah,
So.
it was. Yes, SG. Like a couple of my pre-orders from Off the Racks just hit, and there's tariff fees on there, and it was like $40 for the Dewback and Sand Trooper set. And some other people, that's like what they got charged from Sideshow, because I saw some screenshots in my Discord. It was about the same thing for that set, like $40. So on average, I've seen like $29 to $40 depending on the price of the item. So yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing.
And the tariffs are only supposed to be the retail price, not the. Well, let me rephrase.
Taxes
at the cost, not the actual retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, if it's $150 is what Hot Toys charges Sideshow for each figure, and then they charge us $300 or whatever, the tariffs shouldn't be calculated based off of the $300. It should be based off of the $150.
You know what? I'm also. I was kind of looking at this because I've seen some people posting like still side by side next to him, and how they were saying like how accurate it was. But even when you look at those stills, like translating into 1/6 scale, I just don't understand how people don't know how hard that is. The buttons on this guy are still larger than what it is in the film based to the actual person. And
you gotta be able to actually button it,
it's
though.
like, yeah, it's just, it's so crazy. But and Hot Toys does it too. Like, it's never gonna be that 100%. You just gotta know that going into stuff like this. Seeing all the potions and stuff too, that's...
Yeah, it's got some really sick accessories. Like, he doesn't come with a lot.
And I love how they did movie shot, like some of the poses he did from the movie promos, like all those, right? Yeah. That were before.
Hairline looks really good too. Like, I just think he looks awesome. And there's even like some like depth to the hair color here. It looks really good, man.
And I'm sure when you get those, because I've been blown away with all the Harry Potter accessories so far that have come with both figures. I know for sure holding these like in person, you're probably gonna see like what looks to be liquid inside. Like, they just kill it.
Yeah, Mitchell said, no disrespect to I mean, hey, you could share your I know he's rest in peace, but you can share your thoughts on the character. I just don't see the hype, especially not being in school. Yeah, I mean, Snape just had one of the best character arts in the entire saga of films. You go from hating him to loving him in a moment's time. When Harry Potter sees those memories and realizes the entire time.
Yeah, his love for his mother.
Right, this entire time he thought this dude was out to get him. His whole life, basically, at Hogwarts, this dude loved his mother so much that he looked after him in private the entire time.
Yeah, even like when we thought we was casting a spell on his broom. Yeah, I was just saying that.
So it's such an amazing character arc, and then like you find out the Patronus that was cast that Harry saw in the Forbidden Forest was also from Snape, and it was his mother's Patronus. So it's like, yeah, it's a great character. I get it, it's not for everybody, but I love the character. Really love this character.
Well, like the first time you actually realize that he truly cares about the kids at that school, I don't remember which one it is, but it's where the werewolf is. And he basically, he's there
to
yell at Yeah, where he's about to yell at the kids and everything, and then he immediately, like, when they get Snape's attention and show him, he immediately puts his arms out and moves all three kids directly behind him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like those subtle things that we didn't pick up on.
Yeah, it's like
and
that
all
point
adds
right.
Up later.
Yeah, that point right there just showed like completely like it wasn't. There was no thought process. It was a complete instinctual thing for him to do.
Yeah.
And through all the other movies, he comes across as constantly hating every kid in that school, regardless of
Harry's ass, always messing with him.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
But my opinion on this is probably the best InArt preview I've ever seen, and I don't like InArt, so that's pretty public knowledge there.
Yeah.
I think this is the best one, but I still won't get it.
That's fair.
Crazy.
That's crazy, Mitchell. That's all right, man. I mean, to each their own, dude.
So you
support everybody who chatted, donated, the happy birthday wishes. I do appreciate it. Once again, big happy birthday to our boy Flavio. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us and sharing your time with us on this fine Tuesday evening. I very much appreciate it. That's going to wrap it up. Take care. Potentially, so because my birthday is on Monday, there is something that I might be going to on Tuesday. So next week's stream is kind of up in the air. Of course, I'll let you guys know ahead of time. If we don't end up streaming, of course, I want to stream, but there is something that I might want to do for my birthday on Tuesday. So we'll see if I end up doing that. If not, most likely I'll be here with you guys. But guys, I appreciate it. OG fan, thank you so much. OG fan, one of the I'm sorry, OG, I was reading your comment as I was reading Tim's comment. OG, a member for 16 months. Thank you so much, my friend. OG says, since this is the last show, I want to say thanks for entertaining us. Happy birthday. Yeah, next week it's going to be like when the Ravens drop Justin Tucker. It's going to be like an official statement in writing from me saying that Sean will no longer be.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, OG. You're too kind, my friend. A member for 16 months. Guys, if you haven't already, consider dropping a like on the stream on the way out. Also, hit that join button down below. Also, check out all of the great, highly recommended retailers. Jeremy Casa from Plastic Hero Collectibles. Of course, you guys know Kit Chen from 1/6 Kit and Off the Racks here in the U.S. Great place to buy from with some great prices. Much cheaper than Sideshow, even with the tariff charge. So, yeah, those are all of my recommended shops. If you guys ever want to know, just check in the description. I know a lot of people ask me, especially when newer collectors come through. I know a lot of you guys here are seasoned collectors at this point, but if I recommend it, it's going to be in the description of my page, most likely. So, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Sean, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Always great to have you when you're able to pop in, because I know it's very tough for you, especially with the health stuff and work and just juggling everything that you have going on. So I appreciate you for being here and surprising us on this happy Revenge of the 6th. And Chris, thank you for being here as well, as always.
Thanks for having me, dog.
All right, Sean, any closing words, my friend?
Make good choices.
Take care, everybody.